Hey Diggies, welcome back to BiharGeeks. So today we are going to solve a very interesting problem, that is merge to sorted list. Okay, so we will have given a two heads, okay, of a sorted linked list, that is list one and list two. We have to merge the list and make it in a single list, and that will be a sorted list only. So the list should be made by splicing together the nodes for the first two lists, and we have to return the head of the merge list. So as you see that we have given a two list, and we have to merge it and make a single list, and the list should be in a sorted form. Okay. As you see that if both the lists are empty, so we just need to return an empty list only. And if any of the list is empty and other has some value, we just simply directly return that. Or whatever the list, like list 2, we just simply return it. Okay. So in this way we have to solve it. So I'm going to use two approaches here. One is the iterative approach and second is the recursive approach. Okay. So let's start with the iterative approach first. Okay. So what we are going to do, we will create a dummy node, okay, here to serve the head of the merge list. Okay. After that we will use two pointer and compare the nodes from both list. Okay. And then we will append the smaller node to the merge list, and then we move the pointer, so on, and we continue till the one list is empty, and then we append the remaining nodes inside that. So how we are going to do? Let me show you through the code. So let's start. First, what we have to do, we have to create a dummy node to specify the basically edge cases. So I'm creating list node memory equal to new. Okay, and inside that I will put it a dummy value. Okay, this is I'm doing. In the next step, I will keep the name as list node, and the current will be having the value of the dummy inside it. Okay. Now we have to traverse both and compare the nodes. Okay. So we will put a while condition here, and we have two lists, as you see, list one and list two. So list one not equal to null. Okay. And same for the list 2 also. List 2 not equal to null. Okay. Till that time it will be run that case. Okay. And inside that we have to first add the list 1 to merge. Basically we will add the list 1 node to merge list. Okay. So what we have to do, we have to first put a condition here. If list 1 dot well is greater is lesser, like list 2 value is greater than the list 1, in that case what we are going to do, well, in that case we will add the list 1 node. Okay, because we need to do the in a sorted form from higher to the lower. Okay, so in that case we will put current dot next equal to list 1 in that case. Otherwise, in else case, the list 2 will be there. So I'm just one thing I forgot, and in that after that we have to do the increment also, na. List 1 equal to list 1 dot next. Okay, let me copy this for the else case. Okay, and here we have to just rename that things. Here the current node will have the value of list 2, and same we have to do the increment for the list 2 only. List 2, and here also to put list 1. Fine. Now After all this, the condition, then we have to increment the current also. Okay, because we are putting the value, otherwise all the value is updated at the same point only. Okay, now we will move the current pointer to the forward direction using this. Now, when it is done means that loop is done. We are out of loop now. Then we have to do current dot next equal to what basically we are doing. We are attaching the remaining nodes. Maybe one of the node value is still remaining. So we just adding that because both the list we are having, that list 1 and list 2, both are in the sorted value only. Okay, so we have to put a condition here that list 1 is not equal to null. Okay, in that case we will put the list 1, otherwise the list 2, because any one of the list will be only empty, है ना? And here will be the question, else where will be question. Okay, and now at the end, after that we just need to return the merge list. So merge list is our dummy dot next. Fine. So it is done now. Let me run this. And we have used the approach here that is called iterative approach. What happened here? Okay. When we run again, time exceeded. What I did wrong. First, what we have done, we have put the list here, and then the current node, and after that, list 1 is not null, and then list 2 is not equal to null. And if list 1 value is greater than or equal to the list 2, then current dot next equal to list 1, and list 1 is equal to list 1 dot next, else our current dot next. Okay, fine, then current next list 1. Let me run this again. Okay, it's got accepted. Let me submit this. Okay, it's got submitted also. So for this case, what the time complexity is here, it is n plus n. M is for the length of this first thing, and n is for the this thing. Based on that, we will get the complexity of. Okay, and for the space, we have not used any much space, so the time complexity is sorry, the space complexity is only constant here. That is, we call it of one only. Okay, so this is a iterative approach only. So what we have did, we have a dummy thing. Okay, we have put a dummy value here, and for the current we put it this dummy value inside this current, and then we have put a basically a condition till the time both of the things are not equal to null. We will iterate that time, and we just putting the value inside it. If the list 1 value is like lesser than the list 2, we will keeping the value inside current only. Okay, and same way, if the condition is not satisfied, we will just go into the else case. And after that, when we are done with these if and else, then after that we just increment the current node. And lastly, whatever the remaining value we have, we are just putting inside this. Okay, and at the end, we just returning a dummy next. Fine. So this is basically a iterative approach, and the time complexity we already talked, that is O of n plus n. and the space complexity is O of 1. So this is all done for the iterative approach. Now second is our the recursive approach. So let me clear this. Okay, so let's start with the recursive approach. So for that, first we need a base case here. Okay, so we will put a base condition that list 1 equal to null. In that case, we will just simply return list 2. Fine. And if our list 2 is exactly equal to null, so in that case we will return the list 1. Fine. This is our edge case or base case. Okay. After that, we have to recursively compare and linking between the values. Okay. So in that case, we will put if list 1 dot value exactly same which we have done in the iterative approach. We'll check that the value is lesser than or equal to that list 2 dot val. In that case, we are going to do list 1 dot basically what we are doing, we are just merge the list 1 with the rest. Okay, so list 1 dot next equal to, we will have to iteratively call that. So the value is here, we'll put it here, and inside this we will have to pass that list 1 dot next comma list 2. Okay, otherwise else we have to do it for the remaining. So here after doing this we just simply return return the list 1 from here. Okay, now for the else case we have to do same thing, just I'm just copying it from here, copy and put the else condition here. Okay, now we are linking for the list 2. So we have to change this value from 1 to 2. And same for this. Now here instead of next it will pass the list 1, and for this it will be pass the next list 2. So we will merge the list 2 with the rest. Okay, and we just simply return here from list 2. Fine. So this is done now. Let me run this. Okay, it's got accepted. Let me submit this. Okay, it's done. So the time complexity, if we're talking about, it's also same here. That is m plus n only. And if we talk about the space complexity, so due to the recursion, the space complexity is also same like the time complexity. That is m plus n only. Okay. So this is done now, and if we compare that, so for the iterative approach, the time complexity was m plus n, and the uh, and for the recursive also it's like m plus n only. But if for talk about the space complexity, so the space complexities differ. Like for the iterative case, it's of one only, and for the recursive, it m plus n only. Okay, so today we have like done with this merging the two linked list. Okay, and we have done with the two approaches, that is iterative and the recursive approaches. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to BiharGeeks. Okay, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.